5:12 in the game. Okay. What's that? What happened? Let me see. 35-28 with 1:36 left in the fourth quarter. Well, welcome to week 3 of Friday Night Lights. Look, we have a jam-packed show for you tonight, so let's not waste any time and jump right into it with our game of the week between Valley Mills and Marlin. The Bulldogs shut out Milano for their first win of the season last week, while the Eagles lost a tough one to Santo. What's going to happen tonight when those two clashed at Legion Field? Second quarter, Valley Mills quarterback Braden Richardson. You're going to see him right here on the quarterback keeper. He has tackled all the balls on the ground. It's going to be recovered by Marlin to Darian Harris. He's going to take it all the way to the end zone. Look at those tackles he's breaking. Unfortunately, they cannot score in that possession, but a little deja vu later on in the second. Richardson completes the pass to Brady Whitlock. He fumbles it, picks it up by the Bulldogs right there. Just fumbling and stumbling and bumbling right there. Later on that drive, ball hands off to Harris. He's going to take it all the way inside the 30-yard line, and you better keep an eye on this kid right here, because the next play, Harris is going to take the handoff 30 yards to the house. Extra point, no good. Valley Mills is up 20-12 in the third quarter. Then Richardson is going to hand it off to Monaco Guiona here. Is going to set the Eagles up in the red zone. Nice blocking right there by the offensive line. O-line never gets a lot of credit, but they do get credit right here on Friday Night Lights. And Ganoa going to set it up right here. Handoff. Trevor Castellano right there. That's going to be in for the touchdown, 27-12 after the extra point right now. Late fourth quarter, Valley Mills leading 35-20. And that's where we find Mickey Lattarulo, who's live at Legion Stadium. Mickey, right now, this is a Valley Mills team that is kind of shocking everybody with their offensive output tonight.
Nick, I don't know if you're ready for this one. Marlin just scored again. Right now it's 35-26. It almost might be 35-27. You'll see behind me, it's Ty Darian Harris, the freshman running back. This is his third touchdown of the night right here. Let's see. And they got it right now. It's 35. Did they just go for 2? Okay, they went for 2, so now it's 35-28, 4 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Let me just lay it out for you. They have held Valley Mills to no points in the second half. It was 20-6, now 35-28. Wait, yeah, yes. So, Ty Darian Harris, freshman running back. Sorry, the scoreboard's all messed up right now, but it's 35-28. Ty Darian Harris has scored 3 touchdowns, the freshman running back. Next time you come out to me, this game might still not be over, but I will have a live interview with the winning coach. But we need to remember this kid's name, a freshman, 3 touchdowns.
That's absolutely incredible. We'll check back with you here coming up later on in the show. Now to our flex game of the week, which saw Academy score off against the Goats from Groesbeck. Both teams coming off wins last week. Of course, the Bees, they've been really impressive with wins at Rogers and Clifton. Could they start 3-0 with a win in their home opener? Second quarter, Bees at the 2 when they hand it off to Xavier LeBlanc, who bounces off the crowd. He's going to score. It is 21-0 Bumblebees. Are swarming the Goats right now. Ensuing drive for the Goats in Academy territory. Zach Wilson's pitch is high. John Tomasic, he recovers and gets the Bees all the way down to the Groesbeck 11-yard line. Academy playing out of their minds this year. 4 plays later, Lucas Sanderson nails that 23-yard field goal. Bees led 24-zip at the half. Right now, it's in the 4th quarter. Actually, this game went final 45-0 Academy. Let's go out to Curtis Quillen. He's been at the game all night long and joins us from John Glover Stadium, where Academy, they improved to 3-0 on the year, Curtis.
Yeah, Nick, 3-0 Academy is for the first time in a long time. I was asking a few people. None of us could find the last time Academy was 3-0. I'm joined now by the victorious head coach of the Bumblebees, Chris Lancaster. Coach, you guys punched up into your weight class today. You come out with a huge 45-0 win. What did you see tonight that you liked?
Oh, I saw a lot of kids having fun, and that's special around here, especially in the situation we're in with COVID-19. You just don't know how long you can play. And it was a good chance to get some young kids to play too. But I'm very excited on how we came out and started the game.
You guys have one more non-district game before you go into that hornet's nest that is District 11. What do you want to see out of your guys against Lago Vista next week before you open with Lorena 2 weeks from
Well,
now?
we're still not a polished ball club. We had too many penalties here, too many things. We got to focus more. I think one of the hardest things for this group of kids right now, because we're in some uncharted waters, being 3-0, and so we can't drift away in the mines. We got to stay focused.
Now, this question has nothing to do with the game itself. Some of your teammates from Riverside Military Academy in Georgia, back when you were in high school, were here to see this win tonight. How special does that make this win?
They're my brothers. You gotta get me. You don't know how close we are, and it's like going to college in high school, and especially in that environment. And so these guys are, they're my guys, and they're my brothers. So it's just having them here is very special, and I'm glad we were able to put on a good show for them.
There he is, 45-0. Chris Lancaster's era here in Academy starts 3-0, Nick. We'll have more with quarterback Jerry Cephas coming up during the live stream and during Big Picture coming up as Friday Night Lights continues. Nick?
All right, Curtis, that's an incredible job Coach Lancaster's doing out there at Academy. 3-0 on the season. All right, let's take you out. This is a big one here. Cameron Yo battling number 9 Franklin on the road. First quarter, the Yeomen going to the air. Zane Zinner looking for his star receivers are carrying spikes, but the ball is tipped by Bryson Washington. Malcolm Murphy right there for the interception, so they're going the other way. This was a defensive battle here. We had no score after 1 quarter. Second quarter, Yeoman strike. Devin Hidalgo off the tackle. Crease, look out, missing tackles. Bye-bye. 7-zip, Yeoman on top just like that. However, Franklin would answer, and they would answer quick. Washington on the quarterback keeper here coming up. There's the Yeoman. Their crowd's on fire right there. On the quarterback keeper. Uh-oh. He fumbles, gets the ball back. Lucky bounce right there. Same drive, says Spiller. The fullback dive. First down. What a run right here. And that is going to cap it off as Spiller. He's going to score from 3 yards out. We have a 7-7 at that point. Look at the score there. Late fourth quarter. It's all Yeoman, 37-8. Hey, somebody's going to suffer their first loss of the season. Number 6, Rockdale. Number 7, Lexington. Eagles, they would strike first. Jared Kerr takes the handoff right up the gut. 12 yards to the crib at 7-zip, home team. Rockdale, they would respond on the next drive. Kobe Mitchell. Remember this name here. He's going to keep it himself. Almost takes out our photographer on the sidelines. Hey, he's there. He doesn't even care if he was going to be put in the hospital, but he stays on his feet inbounds for the 29-yard touchdown, game tied at 7. Second quarter now, same story for Lexington on offense. Kerr going to keep it himself, calls his own number, plunges it into the end zone, 14-7 at that point. And let's go to the scoreboard because right now it's a good one. 35-28 late fourth quarter. Here's the good news. McGregor has been scoring a lot of points this season. The bad news is they've been giving up a lot of points. Could we see an offensive explosion tonight against Gerald? In short, here we go. Yes. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. DeAndre McDaniel drops back the pass, finds Ashton Benning for a first half touchdown. Look at that. Bulldogs up 28-13, but McGregor does not. Well, they're not done scoring right before intermission. They get the ball right back, and it's McDaniel, the senior leader of this team, calls his own number, puts the Bulldogs at 35-13, but the defense, well, they would kind of break down on this simple run. They would score. McGregor was up 35-20 at the half, and right now they are rolling 49-35. Scores from around the area. Rogers all over Whitney tonight, 47-12 late fourth quarter. Clifton falls to Maypearl 17-7. West, they defeated Blooming Grove 28-7. And Riesel takes on Clyde tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. We'll have more scores and highlights coming up later in the show. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back. Last week, Troy Habasic, I'll tell you what, 42 carries, 296 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's incredible. Oh, also, he had a 102-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He was a state's Class 3 Player of the Week. What would he do for an encore against the Robinson Rockets? It was senior night for the blue and white. Troy goes to work on offense, and guess what? Habasic out of the backfield. That's a gain of 14 and a Trojan first down. 3 plays later, it's Habasic walking the dog. 14 yards for the touchdown and 7-zip Trojans. Rockets would respond. They would march down the field and cap off this drive as Joseph McHenry finds Trey Stout from 20 yards out for that touchdown. So it's 7-6 Troy. Well, Robinson to go for the extra point. It is blocked. So it was 7-6 early in the second at that point. And look at Troy. They run away with this one. 41-6, your final. Last week, Connolly lost a heartbreaker to La Vega at Willie Williams Stadium. Tonight, they look to get back in the win column as they played host to Springtown. Ashton Brooks Williams breaking all kinds of tackles right there, right up the gut for a cadet first down. Hey, remember Trey Wisner? He was our Gridiron Player of the Week. He had over like 250 yards rushing in week 1. Hey, guess what? He's back. 30 yards on the touchdown run. 7-0 Connolly at that point. But Springtown, they would come from behind and they'd defeat the Cadets 17-7. Now, despite Mejia's 0-2 record, the Black Cats, they've played state-ranked Cameron Yo, state-ranked Troy back-to-back weeks. Today, it would not get any easier as they travel to face off against the Rattlers from Navasota. Navasota, they would throw it, but it's picked off by the Black Cats right there. So Mejia, they are right now rocking and rolling. Offense, the handoff on the right side, making people miss. That's getting down to the 30-yard line. Then Mejia get back on offense right there. Looks like it's about 1st and goal. And what are they going to do? They are going to punch it in for the touchdown. But guess what? Mejia, they scored often and early and everything like that. 38-14, Black Cats come away with the big victory. Let's head out to Eagle Stadium. Bruce Folletti scoring off against Florence. We're going to pick it up in the second quarter. Bruce Folletti's trailing 21-7. Trapper Enzer scores from a yard out. Actually had to shoot that shot right there from the parking lot. we have ourselves a 7-point ball game. Florence would they would march back down the field. Victor Bonilla finds Jared Jimenez, gets down to the 5-yard line. That would set up Angel Perez from 20 yards out, misses wide right, still remains 21-14. Less than a minute to go in the half. Eagles facing 4th and 10 from their own 30-yard line. Kyle Shopper goes for it, and it pays off. Injured to Levi LeFavors. That's a gain of 20. 4 plays later, 4th and 11. Injured to wide open Pablo Rubio. What a huge touchdown right before half. Extra point was good. So it was 21-21 at halftime. Right now, late 4th quarter, I told Coach Shopper they were going to win. They are leading 35-21. Bremond, they were looking to build off last week's win over Axtell as they hosted Milano tonight. First quarter action, Tigers off to a fast start. I'll tell you what, they were scoring at will tonight. Seth Kozowski, read option. He's going to keep it, break some tackles, runs all the way down to the sideline, still breaking tackles. That's a touchdown. 2-point conversion good. It's 8-zip. Second quarter now. Hey, if it worked the first time, might as well work the second time. Same play, different side. Kozowski fakes it. Jere Bledsoe hard running inside to the 5-yard line. Then Kozowski, he would score. They would go for 2 again. They would make it again. 16-0 at that point. And look at this score. 43-0. Bremond is coming out on top. All right, look, we're coming down the home stretch right here on Friday Night Lights. When we come back, we'll head back out to our game of the week, where it's a thriller right now. Stay with us. All right, before we go ahead tonight, let's go back out to Nick Lattarulo, who's live at Legion Stadium. Nikki, give us an update.
All right, Nick, right now 2 minutes and 57 seconds. The clock is ticking down. Valley Mills is up 42-28. Last time you guys saw, it was Tidarian Harris that scored again for Marlin. But then it was Josh Garcia for Valley Mills, a kick return touchdown. to the house, put them up 42-28. So I'm thinking it's going to be Valley Mills winning this one, but you're going to have to stick with us to see. But we can't count Marlin out for this game. They came back in the second half and really killed it. That does it for our time on the NBC portion. Make sure to stay with us on Facebook, on YouTube, or on KCENTV.com. For the live stream portion, I will be live with the winning coach of our Week 3 game of the week, Valley Mills or Marlin. Stay with us.
Welcome back to our live stream portion of the show. We're going to go back to Nickett and Curtis in just a bit, but first let's show you some action from around the area. Let's start off in Holland, where the Hornets scored off against Johnson City. This is a good one here tonight. Let's see, do we have, there it is. Mike Ross Athletic Complex right there, opening drive for the Hornets. The pitch goes off tackle, and it is fumbled. Hayden Fox all over that one for the Eagles. Ensuing drive, Johnson City facing fourth down. Kate Boyer's pass to Grayson Jacobs goes incomplete. So Hornets take over, and J.C. Cheney He's going to shed one tackler, sheds another tackler, sheds another tackler. 20 yards later, he's finally brought down. A few plays later, it's Aiden Tomasek, calls his own number. He's going to keep it off the edge. Follow your block, and that's a great block right there by the wide receiver. 55 yards, and they take the early lead, 6-0, and they go on to roll tonight, 41-0. Chilton, they suffered their first loss of the season against Italy last week. Could they bounce back against Normandy at Featherston Stadium? All right, first quarter action. Normandy quarterback Mason Hardy passes to outside to Isaiah Jones. He picks up the first down and stops the clock. Next play, it's Hardy to Jones again, and he's going to take this one all day. We used to call that Montana X back in the day at Fort Nature's Groves High School. No one is going to catch him. That puts Normandy up 6-0. They go for two, but this time Jones, he can't make the catch. Right there, tough in traffic. Later on in the first quarter, from the opposite end of the end zone right here, Hardy, fake handoff, going to take it himself, and he's going to run all the way down. Look at that. Wow, knock somebody over right there, all the way down to the Pirates' 40-yard line. That would set them up way down the field. A few plays later, Hardy on the quarterback keeper, shed some tacklers. Nicky Lattarulo, where are you at? There he is right there. Touchdown. Chilton, Normandy. Let's go to the scoreboard. And this one, Normandy, they win and win big, 48-15. All right. We'll have more highlights in just a bit. Let's go back out to our game of the week where Nicky Lattarulo standing by live at Legion Stadium. Marlin and Valley Mills, and it was all Valley Mills tonight, Nikki.
Yeah, that's right, Nick. It was all Valley Mills. The final score, 42-28 Valley Mills. Now, like I said earlier, the score was 20-12 going into the half, and you have to give it to Marlin. They came out in the second half, and they not only scored 2 more touchdowns or 3 more touchdowns, they actually held Valley Mills for a while, and then they just pulled away and started scoring here at the end. I'm going to grab Valley Mills head coach Sam Moody in just a second. If you can see, they're over there. They're coming this way, so I'll have him in just a bit. But we need to talk about Tidarian Harris, the freshman running back from Marlin. We'll talk about Valley Mills when the coach comes over here, but that kid is a freshman, so obviously he wasn't even on the team last year, and he scored 3 touchdowns, and he was just so fast all over the field. The Marlin team, I would not sleep on them this year. Obviously, Valley Mills just played better tonight, but Marlin, you got to give it to them. They played extremely well. Next time you come out to me, we will have head coach Sam Moody. I need to find him. They're doing their school song. But, yeah, final score 42-28. That means Valley Mills is up to 1-2 on the season. Marlin falls to 2-1 on the season. No, 1-2 on the season. They are 1-2 on the season.
That is correct. Well, we'll
yes,
see you
I'm sorry,
back.
I'm confused.
I know. Hey, listen,
Yes.
We'll see you back out in a bit.
Okay.
Go get Coach, and we'll see you here in about another 10 more minutes.
I'm going to get him.
I'm
gonna go chase him down. Okay.
Go chase him down. They'll be out of breath now. All right, from our game of the week to our flex game of the week, which saw Academy pick up a huge win over Groesbeck. Curtis Quillen is live at John Glover Stadium with one of the superstars of tonight's game. Curtis.
Yeah, Nick, I'm live here with Academy quarterback Jerry Cephas. Jerry Cephas had 3 touchdowns in tonight's win, combining his efforts on the ground and in the air. Jerry, you guys are 3-0. First time this school's been 3-0 in football in a very long time. What is clicking for y'all?
I think the commitment, and we had a lot of guys step up with the leadership. So the leadership is pushing our guys in practice, and we're getting better and better every day.
This is, I mean, you guys have quite an efficient attack. You guys were able to establish the run tonight for the first time this season, like you said. You're still efficient through the air. How dangerous can you guys be if you're able to keep your attacks as efficient as they were tonight against Groesbeck?
I think we would be very dangerous if they can't figure out what we're going to do. If we can run the ball and then come back and throw the ball on them, I don't think it's any stopping our offense at all.
What does this type of start to the season, 3-0, with wins against 2 top 20 teams in 3A Division II to open the season, both of them on the road, true road games, and then you come in here tonight, you punch up into your own weight class in 3A Division I against Groesbeck, and you get another win. What does that kind of start to the season mean for you and for this senior class?
You can just tell that we're all buying in. Like, we're following Lancaster's lead. He leads good, and we're going to follow him. So he's brought a winning system to our school, so we're going to win with it.
What do you guys want to build on next week against Lago Vista in your final non-district game before before you guys go to Lorena on the 25th?
Just want to build on the leadership. Got to keep the leadership. They will follow right behind us, and I think we'll be straight. We just got to keep up the effort and hard work.
What's your message to the young guys in there right now?
Keep working. It's coming.
Jerry Cephas, a big-time effort for Academy tonight, Nick. 3-0 for the first time in a long time, and they'll see what all they are made of immediately in district play. A former district foe next week against Lago Vista to round out the non-conference schedule, and they open with Lorena. We'll have more on the Bumblebees coming up in Big Picture, Nick.
All right, that is literally the most. They are very, very impressive in knocking out another person along the way there. All right, we'll catch up with Curtis and Nikki one more time before we end the show. Let's get to some more highlights here. Bosqueville opened their season last week with a tough loss to Holland. Tonight, they were hoping to pick up their first win of the season against the Bulldogs from Palmer. Julian Villacenter finds Braylon Lopin, but he's stopped right in his tracks by Larson Hoffmeyer. With a second to go, Villacenter gets hit. Ball is loose. Look at Nick Womack. That's a great name right there. Runs in 50-plus yards for the end zone. Extra point is good. 7-zip Bulldogs on top. This game would go into overtime. Right now, Palmer, they are leading in overtime 27-20. Last week, Moody won a 7-6 defensive battle over Heiko. Could the offense finally get going against Hubbard tonight? Teams traded turnovers early on. Hubbard's Justin Johnson. They call him JJ. Back to pass with the interception right here. That would set up the one and only score of the first quarter. Quarterback Kevin Whitworth. He's going to pitch it over to Tyler McKean. He's going to punch it in for the touchdown. Extra point, no good. So it's 6-0 Jags. Justin Johnson, he was pretty good on defense. You'll see him on offense. He's going to show his skills off here just a bit. Missing tackles, breaking tackles. Whoop! That's L2 on your PS4 controller. There we go. Let's go to the scoreboard. This was a tight game, but Hubbard, they come out on top, 20-15. Let's go out to Madisonville. The Mustangs scoring off against the Teague Lions tonight. First quarter action, Madisonville on the move. Armando Juarez hands off to Ronnie Mosley. He's going to get outside. There he is. Tries to step on somebody. They push him right out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Same drive, Juarez. Corner route right here to Devin Wheaton. All day, every day, 7-0 Mustangs on top. Teague would answer, however. Let's look at it. Oh, they got the mascot. He's doing the dab. Cheerleaders on fire. Teague would answer, I'm telling you, I promise you. Well, they did answer, but it wasn't enough, though. They go down and go down hard, 24-7. Scores from around the area. All right, Lorena was supposed to take on Gatesville. According to Luke Howard, Gatesville head football coach, Lorena was informed of a positive test in its team as they were starting their drive to McCamey Field. Both districts felt that it was the safest with the late notice to cancel tonight's game, so that's why they were postponed and canceled. China Spring, they go on the road and beat Brownwood 35-14. Salado, they fall to Stephenville in a close one, 38-33. La Vega knocks off number 7 CC Caroline 21-13. Number 3 Land passes over Wimberley 57-28. Meridian, they win 7-0 over Bartlett. A good defensive battle there. Centerfield thumps Thorndale 30-14. Rosebud Lott all over Waco, Texas wins 60-0. Then it's Hamilton all over Heiko 66-0. All these 60 scores. Wow. Crawford 62-0 over Axtell. San Saba 32-0 over Mason. Goldthwaite 48-8 over Olney. It was Jonesboro defeating Johnson County 76-44. Abbott over Covington 51-6. And Parkview Christian, they pick up a 36-18 win over Aquila. All right, let's go back out to Legion Stadium where Nikki Lattarulo standing by with the winning coach of those Valley Mills Eagles. Nikki?
At least it was a somewhat.
Well, yeah, hey, Nick, I am here with Eagles head coach Sam Moody. Coach, thank you for joining me. You guys get your first win of the season. How good does it feel to get that out of the way?
Oh, it feels good. Something we've been working for 7 weeks now, so the boys earned it tonight.
And your quarterback, Braden Richardson, a great game. He's a weapon both on the ground, passing the ball. How have you seen him improve?
Yes, man. Over the last 2 years, just learning his reads and playing fundamental football and taking care of the football. He's grown a lot the past couple of years.
And Marlin, they came out here, and you got to give it to them. They were all over the field offensively and defensively. Is that what you expected out of them tonight?
Yes, ma'am. They're a very athletic group. We knew they were loaded up with athletes, and we had to stretch the field out on them and use the sideline as another defender for us.
And you guys lost a lot of your varsity players from last season. You have a lot of young guys out here. How have you seen some of those young guys step up and be leaders both on and off the field?
We have young guys starting on both sides of the ball. And it starts in practice and their work ethic and the way they approach practice. And the first 2 weeks, it wasn't where we wanted it, but again, you keep working hard in practice, it ends up paying off and shows up in the game.
And now, how do you take the momentum from this game, try to forget the past 2 games, and move that into next week?
Yes, ma'am. It's something we preach all year. We play one game at a time. Coming off of win, it's awesome, but starting tomorrow, our eyes will be on Moody, Texas.
And with this season, obviously everything going on, how important is it to let your guys know that every game you have to play like your last game?
We talk about it every day in practice. Last year's seniors got their year cut short with track and baseball, and we tell it every day. You never know when your last week, your last practice, your last snap's going to be, so take advantage of everything you can.
Perfect, Coach. Thank you, and good luck next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Well, that is head coach Sam Moody from Valley Mills. They get their first win of the season, but Marlin, we're not going to count them out. Everyone tonight played hard. They were all over the field, and we will break that down a little bit more coming up, as well as my player of the week from week 2. Nick?
Hey, speaking of player of the week, let's go ahead and transition to that because I actually filmed your player of the week today.
Let me put this microphone down.
Put that microphone down. Your player of the week was actually
it's a mess.
the Class 3A Built for Tough Texas High School player of the week as well. So let's talk about him and tell everybody about Mr. Zach Herbasic here.
All right, everyone who's watching, remember the name Zach Herbasic. You obviously know who he is already because of how good he is. He is out of Troy last week in their game against Mejia. And Mejia is an explosive defense. He even, when I spoke to Zach this week during the interviews, he said, I cannot believe I had 7 touchdowns against Mejia's defense because they are so strong. But he had 7 touchdowns, one of which was a 102-yarder. He's also a Sam Houston State commit. So this is not the last you'll see of him here in Texas. Take a look at his performance last week.
I really felt like Friday night he kind of just said, hop on, boys, let's go for a ride.
In the Troy Trojans' Week 2 victory over Mejia, senior running back Zach Herbasic took control of the offense, scoring 42 of their 55 points. Those points came in the form of 7 touchdowns, one of which was 102 yards.
It was definitely crazy. When on the kick return, it actually went over my head. I was like, I have to pick it up and take it and just try and get in the end zone with it, and it just busted. But the other 6 touchdowns was crazy to me because it was a hard drive for my team. Last year,
Herbasic finished the season with 35 rushing touchdowns. And this season, in just 2 games, he already has 11.
Everybody's always looked up to the kid. Everybody's always looked up to him and his abilities and his leadership by example.
But this being his senior season, Herbasic says not only does he lead by example, but he's become more vocal than ever.
I've never talked that much. It's like in the huddle and stuff until this year. And the Slater game was a big wake-up call for us and for me as a leader to just step up and be more vocal with myself.
While we know Zach on the field, what's he like outside of football?
Knowing who he is, I'm extremely proud of the kid because it's not like he goes and disrupts classes and things like that, then he comes out in the field and does a great job. He's a great kid and he lives his life that way.
He's funny. He's very competitive off the field also, though. In video games, Madden, he's very competitive. He's a cool dude to be around.
Herbasic committed to Sam Houston State back in August on a full athletic scholarship, something he is extremely excited for, and Coach Porter couldn't be prouder.
I'm super excited just knowing that whenever this ends, like if it does, I'm fortunate enough that I get to go play at the next level.
He's the epitome of hard work pays off. So he's a great representative of Troy ISD.
Now, Zach Herbashik has recently passed 5,000 yards in his career, and it's obviously not the end for him considering, like I said, he's Sam Houston State commit. And when I asked him if he feels pressure to be that good, if he thinks people expect it of him and he worries about it, he said he doesn't think people expect it from him. He expects it of himself, he said. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do the rest of his senior season and, of course, at the next level in college.
The guy is very humble. He's very, very good. And Sam Houston State has a steal.
Very humble.
Steal of that guy because he's one of the best running backs in the not only entire state, in the area.
Yes.
Let's bring in Curtis Quillen for Big Picture tonight. I'll tell you what, I was very impressed with also La Vega, another top 10 win. Cameron Yo goes on the road and knocks off Franklin 37-8. I thought that was very, very impressive. Who are you very impressed with tonight?
You know, both of those are really impressive wins to me because there were a lot of people picking the Lions to upset the Yeomen at home tonight. I don't know you can call it an upset. Franklin's a top 10 team in 3A Division II. Cameron is a reloading power right now. They lost quite a bit from that team that made it to the third round last year, losing to eventual state champ Grandview. I think Cameron's impressive. You beat Mexia the way you do, and then you come out, yeah, you lose last week in week 2. I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Giddings, but I'm not 100% on that. And then you come out you come out tonight and you beat a really good Franklin team. I think that's something that's going to build. Academy was really, really impressive. We talked about the run game getting established tonight. That was with the Bumblebees' second-string running back, the second-string tailback, because in the first quarter, Academy's starting tailback got ejected because he also starts at linebacker, and he got flagged for targeting. And so that was really impressive tonight. You know, La Vega's probably still the most impressive team in the viewing area to me. And I know Connolly looked good tonight, but, man, you look at La Vega's schedule. The Pirates embody the anybody, anytime, anywhere mentality. The Week 1 win in Bastrop against Port Lavaca Calhoun, impressive, because that was a pop quiz against the most unique high school football offense in the country. Week 2, a really good, really game, arch rival, and they win that game. Then tonight they go down and they beat the winningest coach in Texas high school football history down in San Marcos. Man, I really, really think we're going to see a La Vega Lampasas game come December at AT&T Stadium.
Oh, I guarantee it. I guarantee it. We are waiting for Bruce Folletti, head football coach Kyle Shopik. He was on the line a second ago. I think he might have got disconnected here. While we are waiting on him, Nikki, for your games, what impressed you in your 2 games here?
Well, Chilton, I didn't see them even score. Norman G was all over the field offensively and defensively, so I can't really say an opinion about Chilton. They didn't look too good offensively or defensively, to be honest. But Marlin and Valley Mills. Valley Mills, I didn't expect to be, I mean, they were 0-2 coming in, and I hadn't seen them live this season yet, and knowing they lost 15 of their starters, I didn't have my standards for them set too high, but they came out here and they were all over the field, but so was Marlin. The score was 42-28, so both teams were in the end zone plenty of times, but the person I'm most impressed by, I'm sorry, I keep saying it, Tidarian Harris, a freshman out of Marlin. He had 3 touchdowns. He may have had 4. He had 3 that I saw with my own eyes, and you guys saw in the highlights. Valley Mills was a little sloppy. They fumbled the ball a bunch, but then Marlin couldn't really get into the end zone off of those fumbles. But I think both of these teams are still trying to find themselves. Both are very young. So I think a little bit further in the season we'll have a better idea of how they're going to look and potentially if they can make it into the postseason. But both these teams looked very good offensively and defensively. I'm just very impressed with Marlin, actually. They made some, there was a lot of times when they were in the red zone and they could have scored, and then they probably would have won the game if they just scored on those drives when they were right there, but they couldn't really perform well under 4th down. They tried to go for it, but they didn't really get it too much. So I'd have to say both teams I am impressed by, and Chilton I'm not impressed by, though. I'm not impressed by them at all. Norman G, good, but
yeah,
not
yeah.
really,
You know,
so.
and the bottom line is for all these teams in non-district play, all they do is just get them prepared for district play here in a couple of weeks. And I tell you what, when district play rolls around, these guys will be prepared, and it's going to, but also add in 6A and 5A because they're about to get cranked up. So it's really going to get very interesting here in Central Texas. Curtis?
Yeah, you know, we've been talking with some 5A, 6A coaches all week and TAP schools. We can't end this show before we touch on some of the area private schools because I think that's going to be where some of the more fascinating stories in our area are this football season. But you look, and I mean, we've got a lot of really good teams here in Central Texas that are poised to make those deep, deep runs this season. Whoever comes out of District 11, 3A Division I, that's this district right here, don't be surprised if 3 or all 4 of those teams are meeting up again in the 3rd round because this is a district that is loaded. Academy
Curtis,
was legitimately impressive tonight.
I'm going to cut you short. I'm going to come right back to you here real quick. We do have Kyle Shopik on the line right now. And, Coach, congratulations on the big win. I think I'm your good luck charm because I got there when it was 21-7, and then when I left, it was 21-21. What happened late in the first half, and then you guys put it together in the second half?
Well, first of all, if you're going to be my luck charm, you can't just be there when you want to be there. Hey, listen, I don't know. We're young. We've got a lot of young sophomores that are playing, and we are finding our way through that a little bit. And so we find some pits and valleys in the games that we've played so far, but they're getting better every week, and I can see that happening, and I can see their eyes starting to light up a little bit. So tonight, we just found a rhythm at some point, and we're able to pull our way back into the game and take the lead.
The last drive before the half, it was 4th and 10. You guys go for it. I think it was in your own 30-yard line. You get a big pass play. Then you went for it again on 4th and 11, I think about midfield, and you get that long touchdown. How confident were you in your offense that they were going to get the job done and try to get that score right before halftime? Because that was a big momentum shift right there.
Yeah, it was. You know, Nick, it's a philosophy thing for us. We talk about being aggressive all the time. We're going to be aggressive in what we do. We call our punt formation crazy because it's crazy when we punt. And so we don't want to punt. And so, yes, I was confident that our kids would get it done. We were just stumbling a little bit, and I felt comfortable with the secondary coverage that we had.
You know, you have some playmakers, and you go with that old school mentality. Hey, it's 4 downs. You pick up 2 yards, 3 yards here and there. You should be running the ball good. Who stood out to you on your team that you were impressed with tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what, Caleb Pate, number 14, is one of our outside receivers. And when we came into town, our staff got here. He was an offensive tackle. And we have worked really hard to get him into a receiver role, and he impresses me every week. He works so hard at it. And then also Trapper Enzer just continues to amaze. He is such a smart kid, and he understands the offense. And in year 2 right now, he makes decisions for me sometimes, and it's really nice to watch. Trapper Enzer is fantastic.
How big is this, especially going into to next week, and you're trying to keep this momentum going until district play begins, because all this does is playing teams like this will get you ready for that tough district.
No doubt about it. And you know, we felt like last year in the playoffs against De Leon that was the first truly playoff-ready team that we had played, and we did not feel like we were prepared at the end of that game coming out of it. So we definitely tried to schedule some teams that were going to challenge us in the preseason this year, and it has definitely shown that, and our kids are growing, and we need the momentum, and we're going to go play Leon next week, and Jeremy Colbert is a great coach, and we're going to have to play really good to beat them too, and they're a different dynamic. They're going to bring a spread tempo to our offense, to our defense, and we're going to have to move the ball against them as well. So looking forward to it. Kids were excited after the game tonight, and that's what you want. You want them to stay in the moment and keep playing.
No doubt about that. Well, congratulations to you. Good luck next week. You know, wish you all the best of luck, and I will be there throughout the entire game. That way you guys can put up 60 points, and I'll leave, right. and we can talk again.
If you'll get there early, we'll buy you some Chick-fil-A sandwiches, and then afterwards you can stay.
We'll
see you.
Now you're talking my game, and then I need a big old glass of sweet tea to go along with it.
That's right. I got you. Just show up and be on time. All right, buddy.
All right,
Thank you very
Coach.
much.
You take care. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon there.
All right. Thank you.
Kyle Shopik and his Bruce Folletti Eagles. Big win tonight. And I'll tell you what, I was there and I saw them score and score quick. And I'll tell you what, he is went forward on 4th down, 2 consecutive times. That's crazy. Before we go tonight, Curtis, I'm sorry. Let's go back to you. That way you can finish it up. That way we can wrap up this show here and get everybody home.
Nick, can you repeat the question?
Oh, I said we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, and I'm going to go back to you real quick so that way we can wrap this thing up and go home here. What were you talking about earlier before we cut you off?
Oh, I was going to, whoever comes out of this district, because Academy looked really impressive tonight, whoever comes out of this district has a real chance to be playing in the 3rd and 4th round. I mean, this district and the Diboll district, it would not surprise me if those were the 2 that were pairing up in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round out of Region 3. This was a really impressive Academy team. We know what Lorena's made of. We saw what they did at Franklin. That China Spring win tonight, I need to text Brian Bell because that is impressive. Go on the road, beat Brownwood the way they did. We've got a lot of really impressive teams, but remember, we have to touch, I mentioned earlier, we have to touch on the 5A, 6A, and the TAPS picture. This might be, it's funny, I was talking with some 12 6A coaches today. That's Killeen ISD, Coppers Cove, Temple, Bryan, Belton. And this is probably, even with Midway gone, even with Waco High gone, this is probably the deepest that district has ever been, team-wise. Talent-wise, 2017 and this year are probably identical. 2017 is when Tanner Mordecai, Jackson Player, all those guys got Midway to the state final in 6A Division II. Talent-wise, it's probably equally as deep this year. Team-wise, this is probably, I mean, every single one of these schools is capable of making the playoffs, but there is no classification in our area that is deeper than the TAPS ranks are. I had a private school coach yesterday tell me I wouldn't be surprised if Riker walked into the TAPS Division IV state championship game. Riker is the only Division IV school in its district because the way TAPS does its districts, Division III and Division IV are paired together. And this coach was telling me he wouldn't be shocked if Riker walked its way into a state title game in Division IV. They are that loaded. Eli Cummings is in from La Vega. All these star-studded transfers made their way in because their parents want to get that rigor, that private school education and boost their college scholarship resume. I mean, Cummings commits to Idaho to go play with Connolly quarterback Tyler Webb. Then you look at some of the other prospects at some of these other private schools. Vanguard's pretty good, but they're a year away, Luke Pilot is telling me. Live Oak is always really, really good. Holy Trinity just brought in a UIL playoff coach. Central Texas Christian School, they were pretty young last year. That's another year of experience. This could be a really special year at the private school ranks here in Central Texas. And we have to touch on that. We'll get more into that as we get closer to the season because the TAP schools kick off the season alongside the 5As and the 6As, which there are 10 of those here in the area. So, Nick, but that's all I got.
There you go.
I got a hot date I got to get to.
Yeah, no, get to your hot date. Nikki Latt, excellent job tonight. Hopefully we hear waiting bells here soon. Nikki Latt, you need a boyfriend.
To be fair, my girlfriend dared me to say that. I will say that.
Can we not talk about this right now?
We're not talking about this right now. Because I got to go home, Curtis got to go home,
I'm getting
and you got to
eaten
go
by
home
bugs. It's time.
So, all right, that's going to do it.
I got to go home to my dog.
Go home to your dog. All right, we're done here on Friday Night Lights. We'll see you week number 4. Can you believe that's already happening? Week number 4, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you guys next week.